Happy New Year's, everyone. And so, as it is every New Year's, there's always new regulations that comes out, and Florida is not the exception this year. So in Florida, it's they have a new Senate Bill 1020, which was passed this past last summer, and it went in effect on January 1st. Now this affects not only those of you who own CBD brands and manufacturers and things like that in the state of Florida, but it affects those of you who sell CBD products in Florida. So if you are in Florida, you're based out of Florida, it's required for you to have a hemp license in the state, and it's $650. It looks like I believe it's every year, from what I've been studying. And so this is because CBD oil is considered a food because people add it to their mouth. It's just a fact. We all know you can use it for your skin, adding it to your joints and things like that. But because it's made for ingestion, you need a license, and that's what it's licensed for. It's a food license. And so I'm gonna go over a little bit about the key points, and so that you can be prepared for this law and you don't get fined. So the first thing I just want to go over, just a little bit of details of the key takeaways, is two of them. Any entity, whether a brick and mortar or online seller of CBD, must have a hemp license as mandated by the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services Division of Food Safety. There will be a 3-strike rule for non-compliance. So the first offense, you get a written notice from the state. The second offense, you get a $10,000 fine. The third offense, you'll be prohibited from selling CBD. So they will shut your company down. And so from what I understand, this is those of you who are businesses based out of Florida. Now, they consider hemp extract a substance, a compound intended for ingestion that is derived from or contains hemp and does not contain other controlled substances. The Delta-9 THC concentration needs to be 0.3% or less on a dry weight basis. And a hemp food establishment is an establishment engaged in manufacturing, processing, packing, holding, preparing, or selling food consisting of or containing hemp extract. So anybody that touches the food, that touches the hemp in the state of Florida is considered a hemp food establishment, and you're required to have a hemp license. Now, so some of the things that they had to talk about here is, yes, when you apply, it's for annual food permit. So you have to do this on a yearly basis for $650. Let's see here. So they ask like what steps that need to be taken. So you have to apply it online, you gotta fax it or mail it to the business center. If you have any questions that's not covered here, you can go to the link in the description or go to our website, and on the article, I have everything for you, including information on links and the PDF version on where I'm getting all my sourcing from. So some of you may ask, can a business that operates on the cotton food laws offer hemp products? No, the cotton food laws do not cover hemp, and a food permit will be required to carry hemp food products. So will I need a food permit if I only sell CBD or hemp extract online and not in a store? Yes, a food permit is still required by the state to sell online. Now, from doing some research, if you are, say, out of California, from my understanding, you do not need a permit to sell in the state of Florida, but you're required to have all your lab reports and every single product needs to have lab reports. There's labeling requirements that are in place, and I will cover that in the next video on how to label properly for the state of Florida, which actually will help you in other states, because states like New York dropped the hemp laws, and I will go over that in another video. But this is becoming the norm. So if you have a mobile food establishment, so if you're a mobile truck and you want to sell CBD in there, yes, you need a license. And now, as far as health claims, you can't make any claims to diagnose, cure, mitigate, treat, or prevent a disease. So if you're saying that CBD treats MS, you cannot have that on your website if you sell CBD. As far as I know, if you're all education based like we are, there's nothing saying that we cannot say that. But if you are selling CBD or hemp extracts, you are required to not mention any of the information. And so one of the other topics is approved source for hemp extract. So all hemp extract must be processed and distributed by facilities that are permitted and expected by the local or state food safety jurisdictions. And that includes other states. So if you're in Texas, you have to make sure that you are up with all your regulations. This you covered by your city, and or else we can't sell in Florida. And so one of the questions they have is, how can I verify that hemp products that I carry have acceptable levels of THC? This is where it's important to have proper lab testing. So those of you who make products in your kitchen, those of you who sell products and do not get tested, you are required to have lab reports and lab testing to make sure that the Delta 9 THC levels are up to par. And so one of the things that's required on the labeling is to have batch numbers. You need to have who's your manufacturer on there. And so it's required to have it on your website, and on the label itself, you need to have your website on there too. So one of the important things that will affect people, those brands that sell bottles in clear bottles. So if you sell CBD water or your tinctures that's not in a dark bottle that's clear, it needs to be in a dark bottle. And according to the regulations here, hemp extract must be packaged in containers that minimize exposure to light due to the degradation of cannabinoids stored at or below room temperature. So this is something that we've been talking about for years now. For example, you bottle water, it's a clear containers. Any light gets to it, especially when it's stored in the store and the shelves. The cannabinoids degrade, and so it may be 10 milligrams of CBD in that bottle, but sitting there for 6 months, a year, and it gets tested, it may show 0 because that light degrades the CBD that's in there, and it's no longer accurate, and then you can get fined. So if you want like additional information, like I said, it's all in the link in the description, or which is on our website. You could call the FDACS Business Center at 850-245-5520, or you can go online to fdac.gov. We have all the link information there. So this is interesting because it's becoming the norm. Like I said, states like New York, it has their new license requirements for hemp in the state. I have to dig through that regulations and do another video on it, but please be prepared. This is going to be the industry standard going forward. If you would like to get our book, CBD for Beginners and How to Grow CBD Indoors, it's very well written, it's simple, and it's both of them are made for you to read in one sitting. It's available at cbd.house/book. Each book goes towards supporting us on continue to educate you, the consumer. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day, And I hope you all have a prosperous 2020. Love you. Bye.
There are those that said your pain isn't real. Too slow. Too hard. Too soft. Too old. Too limited. To them, we say too bad. Everyone deserves good and clean CBD.